Hi, this is Johnny. This video is about how I create a NeoCD, and also those of you who's interested in creating creating the any kind of CD like Sega Genesis, all that stuff. Now, I noticed that the PC Engine, the emulator that the Quartz retro or Quartz, which is support the running the the CD-ROM that support the CHD. So this one do not support the CHD. So CHD, let me move the size over so you know exactly what kind of size we're looking at. So right now, this is the game that I need to delete. So in order for me to clean it up, I just want to go through this. This is one set of game that came the from Neo that helped me fix the game that wasn't loading. So this is this is the game's different type of image that was generated by the original Neo Geo CD, and they have a file called image instead of ISO. Now this is a one that I used in the past. So this one and this one, and those did not work. Okay. Then I also use another one that I re-download, and those did not work. And then this is the original, came from Raspberry Pi. Uh, this is the one file that the file is not that big. Where's the file size? Somehow my file size disappeared. Oh, I moved it too far over. Okay, it's actually 23, which is actually smaller than the image 442. But this one did not work either. So, but this is the name that is support. Now you will say, Johnny, why you have one over here and then you have another one here? Okay, and then you have another one here because they have space. It doesn't like space. So what I did is I renamed this, but I don't rename the original because why you don't want to rename original? Because if you rename the original in the future, you will have to rename it back. So I use a program that actually copy all this and put it into a folder for me and rename it to this name. Then I take those name and copy it back here, back into the ROM folder. So all my Sega CD do not have its own folder. Like uh, I know Neo did. He tried to organize it. He put another folder called, like for example, 3 count but, and then he put all the ROM inside that folder. So he got so multi folder in there, and that's what he did. And so originally, I thought that you have to do it that way to make it work, but you don't have to. You could put all the ROM together. So what I did is I made a copy of this one, but I make sure that I'm pointing to the right file, either this one or this one. So in here, let's just look at it real quick. So this is the one that I'm using for the Hydro Hack menu. So this go into Notepad. You cannot open it with text, you gotta open it with Notepad. Okay. So in here, it's actually pointing to a file called image. Okay. And the name is totally different because I download this. I got this from from a different group, and that's how I got this. Okay. Now this one are the one that I just recently got. So this image does work. So as long as you're pointing to the correct physical ROM name, it doesn't matter what you call this one. You could call it 3CB. Okay, you could call it any name you want, but cannot have space, cannot have parentheses, cannot have dash. So that's why you had to get rid of that. But the problem is, it take a long time. If you have 100 games, you have to do this 100 times, one by one. Then if you have 1,000 games, you have to do it 1,000 times. So what I did is I created a formula. Okay. Now the video that I did a demo on the Neo Geo, I'm going to show you what I did on how I did it on this Excel. Okay. Originally I have a lot of different one. Okay. I just opened this one. I could delete this one easily. The reason I created, I just click add. When you click add, it created a sheet. It's like a temp. extra sheet that you could copy stuff to it. I'm going to delete that. I'm just put it there just to. Now, what I do is D is the main thing. Okay, D is the main one that you're going to use. I'm going to put a yellow. D is the one you're going to copy and paste. All right, and it's automatically going to create 3 count. It automatically is going to change. See how this is going to take away Asia. It's going to take away Korean. It's going to take everything out. Okay, actually, it's just going to take the parentheses out. I decided to keep the Asian and Korean because later I start finding out why some of my game is disappearing because I have the same game have different region. So I only delete the parentheses and keep the world, like the world I keep W. Europe I use EU, and Asia I just keep Asia. Korea put KR. So if you see a Korea anywhere, it's going to change it to KR. Asia, just I kept the Asia. I don't have abbreviation on that. Okay, so everything that this formula, it delete everything. You don't have to do it any manually. You don't even have to think about it. You just grab your worm, drop it in here, and it will automatically create it you the worm list. I mean, this is the part where you copy and paste it. Where you're gonna rename all your file. Let's do that one last. This is the worm list that you need. And what you do is you take from starting number 1, take all that, copy it, and paste it into your WOM folder. So I'm going to demonstrate that real quick and also create game list. Since this is only 100 game, you don't need to go to game 1, game 2, because this will tell you, okay, for example, if you're doing Super Nintendo, you have 1,000 game, you're going to say, okay, I wanted to start it at 297. I want to start it at the next game set. I want to start from 874 because you cannot have more than 450 game, otherwise it's going to give you issue. So you have to break it down to a different game set, and that's what all this different one is for. And then WOMless is the one is you have to tell it which game, where's the CUE, and where's the location of the Neo Geo. And the way you change is, for example, if you're working on a Sega CD and you create a Sega CD bin file, here you're going to type in Sega CD, okay? And then you have to make sure when you do that, what all this here is going to change. Watch and this is what is telling it that it's changed to Sega CD. This is all the one that you will be the code that you're using. Okay, if you accidentally click on it and the formula come out like you just saw, press escape. Okay. Now, you don't want to change anything because I didn't lock any screen. I didn't lock it, so you could accidentally did something and mess it up. If you do, just don't save it. Okay, just undo, click undo. Okay, and for example, since this is Sega, I did not keep my file in Neo Geo CD. I kept all the Sega CD in Sega CD folder. Okay, so if you do that, it automatically change it to a Sega CD folder. Okay, ROM, Sega CD, ROM, Sega CD. Okay, and that's what this tool is for. And that's all you gotta do. So you just copy and paste and put the stuff in here. So I'm gonna click undo because we are working on Neo Geo. I'm just showing you an example how I changed this. Just by changing that, the EMU is mean the emulator, which emulator you're using to run this game. That's one set, that's second set, that's 3 set. So by you copy and paste the game into the game list, it created one info for you, automatic, and game INI for you, automatic. Now, if a game is more than 450, it will create a game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4 for you. You just have to put in the right number, so it will start from. So if I, for example, if I want to start it from number 50, for example, I type in 50, and my first game is 0 is going to start with 50. Kingdom Fighter Master. Okay, then over here, I'm not going to copy all of them. I'm just going to copy 1 to 50 because my first game set is going to be 50 game only. So from here, I go over down to, remember you start with a 0, okay? So you're not going to copy all 50, you're going to copy down to 49. So you're going to go all the way down to number 49. And then you're just going to copy that into your game list. Now I'll be creating one for Neo Geo Mini as well, so that you don't have to manually type all this, because typing create human error. And this is a formula, so it do everything for you already. So you don't have to worry about making human error. Okay? Your human error is your physical name if it's not correct. And then your artwork is not correct. And then you paste it into the game list, then you're gonna have problem because the, the software side is set up for you automatic. But if your physical file is not set up correctly, then you have problem. And that's what this one is used for. See right here, Kingdom Fighter number 45. The next one I want to use is 50, so I need the last blade. So you want to go to game 2, and this is Kingdom Fighter. I want this one, so I'm going to put 51 instead of 50. So 51. So it's going to pick from this one and go all the way down. See, that's how this one does. It starts where you left off, the one you highlighted. So I'm going to copy this to one game list, and then this one's for the second game list. Okay. That's when you have a multi-piece screen, like you don't want it more than 340, and that's what that whole thing is, the purpose of it. Okay. All right. So then you say, okay, well, how do I rename the ROM? You want the ROM in the picture to look exactly the same name before you start to rename it. So whenever you put into, let's go back to the game list, and we are going to use a new one because I already delete the one that is I want to delete because they're duplicates. So I only have 109 game. I don't have a 118. Okay, so I'm gonna before I copy that, let me show you what happened if I delete it. When you click, okay, before I delete it, let me show you this one. This right here is it automatic grab the information from the game list. This is automatic grab the name from game list, and then make this so I could. So once it grabbed those A and B and C, now C and D. Now the one that is white is the one that I add more stuff to it. Like there's no formula. I'm going to paste something here or paste something here. And the reason I paste something here is because I'm actually renaming my old file to CFC, because the old one used to be called SMC for the Super Nintendo, and I want to rename it to SFC. So I added this for that purpose. So this is actually this two field is actually do not grab anything from anywhere. Now this is a formula, it's grabbing from, so you don't want to touch them. This is just an extra field for you to rename something for you. Okay, so if you put something here in the D, it will actually rename something, a folder, the game folder for you. Okay, so let's go over here. The first one you're going to get is the F1. F1, what it does, it take your physical ROM, put it into a new name without the parenthesis, without the world, you just have a W. Okay, this one, same thing. It took all the space away, and let's look at the ones more complicated one. Oh, French. French, it didn't remove the word French, so it kept the whole word French in here. The world, it changed it to W because we had that in the formula. But it took the parenthesis out. And then some of them have like a dash. See this one? Bus and move, it have dash. Dash is being removed, so renamed to a different name. Okay, but inside the file, you don't want to change anything. You only just want to change the physical name because Hilo Stick will not recognize anything that has space between it. Okay, the way the hack was written, which is giving people a lot of headache, is like RetroArt would take the space. Well, how come Hilo Stick won't? Well, because that's how they wrote it. So you have to have, I wrote this program so it will automatic do all this for me. So what I do is I copy this and I paste it and I'll rename all the name for me. And that's how I rename the file. But then you also have to create one called file.txt. So let's look at this real quick. So if I was to go to my iDrive, okay, go to my iDrive, what I do is I go to the WOM folder, and then I go to NeoCD, okay, and oh, wrong one, NeoCD, not okay, NeoCD, okay. And in here, you have all the CUE have space. So if I don't want those space, I will run a batch file. And let me see if I can find the batch file that I already created. Oh, I didn't create it here. I created it in, okay. So what I did is I copy all the CHE into this folder. And if you want to rename it, what you do is you just go new text file. Okay. So all those have the CUE. I want to rename it all the CUE into a different file. So I'm going to say you could type whatever name you want. Say rename the CUE. Rename CU. No, yeah, rename CUE. Uh, removing the space. Okay. So in here, you just double click, open the text file. You come over here, and you just going to highlight, copy everything till you see the invalid character right there. I mean, there's no more stuff here. Copy the 118 file, copy, and you do Control Tab, and then you're going to paste it in the notepad. All right. So to make sure it works, what I normally do is I create a pause, P-A-U-S-E. What pause does is in the DOS command mean pause it, let me see what's going on before you continue. Now you have to create another text file called uppercase file.txt. Otherwise you will have error. It won't work. Okay. All right. So for example, I'm going to save this, and I'm not going to create this. So I'm going to show you what it looks like if you don't have that. Okay. So minimize that. And I'm going to rename this to a batch file. You have to rename it to a batch file, or otherwise it won't work. It won't run. Okay, because text file just open text, it doesn't execute the command inside. So what I'm doing is running the execute command. Now watch, it's going to give me an error because I don't have. Okay, say the system cannot find the file specified. System cannot find because I don't have a file.txt. Press continue is just going to repeat this error through the whole 118th line. So I'm going to close it, and I need to add another one called new text document. I'm going to call it uppercase F-I-L-E dot text. Okay, in here I need to tell it that I want to transfer just file, uppercase F, shift F. Okay, press enter. That's what I need inside this file. Then I'm going to save it, then close. All right. Now, if I run this program again, it's going to work. See, the reason why is asking you a question and you didn't give it an answer. So it say cannot copy. So now it's saying, is it a file or a directory? I'm doing a file. It's not a directory. Even though I created a folder called WOM, but I'm not, you know. So then it asks you, okay, now this one you did not find it because that file is not there, because there's only 74 files there, and I have 118 line. Okay, so I'm going to go type, and I'm going to look for a folder called WOM. So it created a folder called WOM. Inside it already renamed one file. Okay, and that one file is pointing to the correct WOM, which is we are not going to rename. we keep it alone. So this file is going to point to this physical name. We're not going to take the space out. Do not take the space out, otherwise you will have issue. Okay, leave it alone. Okay. All right, so that's what this file inside look like. Now, if I continue, watch, if I press enter, it's going to create more. Okay, so if I do refresh, all those have been renamed for you. Then you just copy that, put it back in here, and that's it. So your ROM is ready to go. Then you do the same thing for the BNT. So that is the next one. So you're going to go into the second one, which is, this is the F, the one we just talked about. The one next to it is going to be the G. This one say copy the PNG into its own folder, rename it to a NeoCD in front of it. So that way I know this is NeoGeo artwork. The name you're going to use is the same name as here, but I wanted to abbreviate it without the space. With the space, going to cause me a problem. It would not work. So no space. Change the physical name into cover.png. And that's what this one is doing. It's changing the picture for you. So you're going to copy all this and you're going to tell it, okay, I want you to create that for me. So you're going to copy all that until here. So it's doing all this for you. You don't even have to do this one by one. It do it for you. So you just go to your artwork, which my artwork is located in the original, I think it's in the original iDrive. Okay, and in here I'm gonna go to ROM, and then I'm going to Neo Geo. I think my cat want my attention. Okay, those are the PNG file. See, all those are PNG. And the reason is all here, this already being resized. And when you resize it, you have to install this program right here, this program. Once you install it, then all this command will work. So my Neo Geo format is going to be changing everything from here to here. You're going to copy that and run in DOS command. Change it to all to 254. So for example, I just copy that command and go to the DOS command and go to the directory, which is the iDrive. And I'm in the Neo Geo CD box. If you're not in the right place, you're going to do CD space and then go to this folder right here, copy the location, okay, and then come here and do paste, right click, and then it come out, show you right here. Then you press enter, it will move you to the right folder. Then you're going to, oh, since I did copy and paste, I lost the command. So I'm going to go back to resize. I want to change all my CD box to 254 to 248. So I copy that, and then I come here, and then I run the command. So all my box art is going to be 254 by 248. So I press enter, and it's going to change all my box art. Okay. One of them have a problem. If they have a problem, it will tell you which one is it. Okay. All right. And then all my box art. Oh, because I don't have a box art here. I actually need to be in here when I click the command. That's why I have an error. I was in the wrong place. So once that is done, then you could run the batch file command. Okay. So here's all my original size is 709 by 694. This is the original size, the big size. In case I want to use it for some other thing, I don't want to shrink it down. Once you shrink it down and you try to make it bigger, it's going to get blurry. Blurry is not going to be clear. So you want to keep the big size. You don't want to change it. So this is my backup. Okay. So this one is the 709 and 709 is 64. So I'm going to put 709 by 694. So those are the size for the picture, and this is the size that I changed already. So once this is changed, you're going to run a batch file to move all this and create a folder. Well, actually, it's going to create a folder for you. Right now, there's only 2 folders. So, for example, view detail. You don't have a folder, and in order for Hydro Stick Neo Geo to work, you have to go to the Hydro Stick ASPH. Inside the games folder, you have to have pictures. Okay, because if you don't have a picture, so mine is called a Neo Geo CD, so this is all the Neo. So I'm going to go down to the Neo Geo CD. See, here's all my Neo Geo CD. So if you come over here and you look at the first one, 3 count, that's the picture. Okay, and the size is correct, 254 by 248. So if you don't have a program, you have to copy the game in here. You have to give itself a name, and then you have to change the size. So it's a lot of work. So what I did is I created a formula that will create all this for me. But first you have to change the size first, which we already did. Okay. Now we are going to create it. I'll show you how I created all this. How I create all this here. Okay. All these boxes. So if you was to view large box, you see there's a picture inside and all those folders. So that's where it's grabbing the pictures. So let's go back to because I renamed the box name. All right, here's all the box work. And I don't want to use the original size. I'm going to use this smaller size. Okay, there's all the picture right here. So I'm going to go back to my Excel. Okay, I'm going to copy all this, which I'm going to copy. All right. Then I'm going to create a new text file. Okay, this one I'm going to say rename the PNG and rename the PNG to a cover .bin and put it in its own folder. And that's what exactly it's doing. It is, oh, I just shared the Neo Geo stuff, but I haven't put everything in yet. Okay, I just put the video. I haven't finished this video. I'm recording and I already put the demo Neo Geo. Okay, what am I doing? How I got here? By accident, I think. Okay, so here's my batch file. So I'm going to rename the PNG cover, which is PNG. I'm going to rename the PNG into the cover.png and then put it on its own folder. So now double click this. I'm going to paste the command that I just did. Now remember, you need this file, otherwise it's going to have issue. Okay, so we're going to pause it so we could check it, what it looked like. Let's pause it over here. PAUSE. Okay, then we're going to save it. All right, so that is saved. Now I'm going to create a new one called new text file. That one need to be uppercase FILE, enter. I already have one. Okay, because I already have a batch file, just notice I have a batch file there too. We go type. Okay, so this is the new one I created. This is the old one that I created. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and change this one to BAT. Okay, so as you can see, I only have 2 folders here. I don't have any extra folder. So when I run this program, it's going to create all the BMP and put it into its own folder. That's how easy it is. Okay. Oh, I paused it at the bottom. I didn't pause it on top. So it's going to keep on doing it. So if you look over here, see the folder is creating. It's creating all this folder. See. So if I was to view those folder, view by large icon, the picture is creating. It's going boom, 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 boom. It's putting all the game and rename it to cover.png. Saw that? It do it for you easily. Okay? And that's what those first two does. One is renaming the ROM and one is renaming the PNG for you. All right? And that's it. Easy. Then you're going to take all this PNG, copy, and then put it into a game folder. So I'm going to take all that. Okay. Take all that game folder. And I'm going to cut, which is 100 of them. Oh, the thing is still running. Oh, because I put a pause. So if I press enter, it's going to create 118. So I could take the first one again. Which is the Neo. Go all the way down to the last one. What happened? The parameter is incorrect. Okay. Now one of this is actually Neo Geo box. It's not supposed to be 119. It's supposed to be 118. So I accidentally select the one called a Neo Geo box. I should view by name because I don't know which one is the Neo Geo box. Because it's all right here, Neo Geo CD box. I don't want that one. Okay, so if you look down here, 118 exactly, and that's how many game I have, 118. So you just copy that, you just cut it, and then you go to the iDrive, go to ASPH, because without the game pictures, you're not going to see no picture. Okay, so you need a picture, so you go paste. So you put all the pictures in there for you. Okay, you want to replace it all? Sure, replace it all because they're all right side. And let's skip it because I already have it already. So that two things you have to do physically. First, you have to get your ROM. Two, you have to get your box off. Okay. Now, once you get those two together, you have to put the box art in. Let me see. I think I did it over here now. Because I can't do everything on the iDrive. It's going to run out of space. So what I do is I create a backup my 1 terabyte and put it into my 6 terabyte and then I do my game. So what I do is I go to my Neo Geo CD and put all my pictures in the ROM in the same folder so I could compare it to see what's missing in based on pictures. So this is all the CUE that we just did. I was going to show you one that have the box on. Maybe it is on the iDrive. Not this one. iDrive WOM. I apologize. Let me find it. Okay, I found it. So what I do is I put the box art and the CUE together. I don't need the bit because the CUE is the only one I'm renaming the name. And then the artwork, I need to rename it and put it into its own folder. But the name and the ROM have to match inside the ROM information. We will talk about that next, okay? So what I did is I go view by detail. Then I view by name. Then I go down and check, is this two have the same name? Okay, they have to be the same name, okay? If otherwise you will have problem later when you rename the artwork and the picture, it's not going to work because the game name and the picture name have to be the same. Okay, so that's the hard part. This you have to do by yourself. You gotta go in and make sure, okay, my artwork is, since we run the batch file, the picture size should be all the same, 254 by 428. Remember, we run this command right here, this command. So we did all of them. So you don't have to check the size, but you need to check the name to make sure it's correct. So if there is a CUE, there must be a PNG. If there's no PNG, then you say, oh, I'm missing an artwork. One of them is not there. I need to go download. So you go down the list, make sure you have that CUE BNG, CUE BNG, CUE PNG, sorry, CUE PNG, CUE PNG, and go down, make sure you don't have any artwork is missing and you don't have an extra artwork or extra stuff. So you go down, make sure they all match the name, that dash, 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 make sure everything's right. Once that's done, then you run those two batch files that we just talked about. Rename the ROM, rename the pictures, and then you could copy the picture into picture and copy the ROM into the ROM folder. So you were to take all this, copy all that, and then copy and then paste it into your ROM folder, not this ROM folder, but the original ROM folder, NeoCD. Then you're going to paste it here. Now, once you paste it, you're going to have the old one, which is CUE, and then you have a new one. Okay. So let's go down the other one. So you're going to say, oh, well, Johnny, you have two of those. So why not have triple, double? Let me go somewhere that have only a single one. Okay. That one too. Okay. So like I have yeah, this one, same thing, I copy it. There's some of them are duplicate. Like yeah, okay, so I have a bin CUE, okay? And in here I have ones called this one without the space. That's the one that we just did. So you need that one, and that one is going to point to this one. This one I could delete, but I left it there because in the future, if I need it, it's going to match. It's going to be there because in other game system, you need this. Okay, so I don't want to rename this and delete this one. So in the future, I will delete this one and keep the original one. But because of high-low, I have to rename it. That's the only reason. Okay, and high-low is looking at this and is pointing to this. Okay. Now let's look at the ROM list. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do this for real because I'm gonna delete the one I have before, the old one, which is not this spreadsheet, sorry. Go back to this one. Okay. So we cover the rename and we cover the ROM list. We're going to cover the ROM list and game list now because I'm going to show you that instead of 118, I'm going to use the one is called, see right now it's 118 game. So I'm going to take only D. D doesn't have formula. D is just stuff that if you forget which one, just look at it. This one have formula, don't delete. This one have formula, do not delete. This is the one, do not have formula, delete this. This is your game list. So you're going to highlight that, delete. Okay. When you delete it, everything is gone. Uh, everything is gone. Everything is gone. Everything is gone. Okay. So once you put in the new list, then everything will be created for you. So right now I have 109. This is a new list that I'm going to use for my Neo Geo CD. Now I might delete more because I find out some of them are duplicate while I was demoing. Like I don't know, maybe I already remove it, but we're going to go over it one more time. I'm going to copy this, copy the list, the new list. Now you might say, well, Johnny, how do you get this list? This is how you do it. You go to your ROM folder that you have all your ROM, for example, right here. Okay. Uh, let's go back to Neo Geo. Okay. Here's all your ROM. The one you need is a CUE. Okay. So why not have so many CUE? So if you only have one CUE, what you do is you go to the DOS prompt. I know how to duplicate. I'm just showing you just for how I get this. I just do dir Give me all the lists start with CUE. That's the one that we're going to use. Press enter. Now I say I have 260 because I have some of them is duplicate. Like this one. CUE, CUE, CUE. 3 game, 2 of this is the same. Okay. So this one is not a good one because I already copied the rename file into here. See the rename without the space is in here, plus the one is from Neo, and then the one is mine that I download from Arcade Punk. And so those are the all the extra one. Okay. And the way you do it, you do directory star.cue, and then say I want to show me without this. I just want the name. I don't want the byte. I don't want the date. I don't want the time. Delete all this. I just want the name. Okay. So if you do it like that, this is what you get. You only get the name. Then you need to remove those, and then remove the type, the header. You need to remove all this. Okay. And you're gonna say, well, how do you remove it? You are just looking at it. So when you do directory star dot cue, you're gonna do it sideways W, and then you're gonna do an arrow greater sign. A greater sign means that you want to put this into a game list called NeoGeo, okay, into a text file. And then once you do that, you created this file. In this file, type, let's put date, see if I can find it quicker. NeoGeo CD. I try. WAMS. NeoGeo CD. NeoGeo CD. Why can't I find that text file? It's right there. There you go. Found it. I don't know why I couldn't find it. All right, so I'm going to edit with Notepad++. Okay, Notepad++ is a free software, and you wanted to have it. Okay, it's easier to highlight and delete stuff. You could even put a little bullet right there so you can see where you're at. So we're going to delete all this, delete that, and then we're going to come here and delete this. Okay, so that is your game list. So you're going to copy your game list, your physical game list. Okay, you don't want to type it in. You want a physical game list. That's how you get the physical game list. Then you copy it. Then you go to that spreadsheet that I have. Now, by the way, if you guys want this and want to try it, let me know. Text me. Say, Johnny, hey, uh, can you send it to me on my email? Give me one out. Well, you don't want to put email on YouTube. You just you could ask me from Telegram. If you are part of Telegram group, you could ask me from there. It's easier for me to give it to you from there. If you just directly point to my Telegram, and I've tried. Let me see if I can put a Telegram uh, in this video description, so you could. So what you do is you go to game list and say, okay, that's my new game list, 260 files. So if I paste that, it will create 260 for you. See that? It's no limit. It will create 2,000, 3,000, whatever, how many you have. Okay. So this is how you do the game list. Okay. Now this is not the game list I want because this is a lot of duplication. So I'm going to go ahead and do undo. The one I want is this one. Okay, and then we're going to physically change it right now on my game list. And those are sorted by alphabet order. Okay, now you say how you sort it. You go click here, sort, and I want to sort by A to Z, alphabet order. Now they're alphabet order. Then I'm going to copy it, put it into my game list. Now it's 109 game, paste it, and that's it. Okay, now I go to, I already did the naming. You want to do this first, rename all your physical file and everything, or you could do it after you finish this. You could do this first because this two are separate from this. This is the physical name you have to change your ROM and your picture. So those two are the physical changes. This is changing the ROM. This is changing the, the artwork, creating the artwork. Okay, so I'm going to go to the ROM list. Now this ROM list is smaller than the one I have. So I'm going to take the ROM list and delete the one I have because why I have extra stuff that is not part of the. I mean, it's a duplicate of extra one. I don't need more extra stuff on it. So this is the last one. It's also in the same order as you see on the game list, alphabet order. I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to go to the game INI. So I'm going to go to iDrive. I'm going to go to the ASP. Okay, this is the arcade stick, and then I'm going to go look for hack. Inside hack, there's a folder called rom.ini. Okay, I'm going to edit that ini, and I'm going to look for NeoCD. So I'm going to Control F and look for NeoCD. Okay, shoot. I'm going to open it with Notepad++. Sorry. Okay. Here's my NeoCD, and it's opened by Notepad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete everything that I have and replace it with a new one. I always like to put a header so it's easy for me to find it, knowing that this is the beginning and this is the end. So I'm going to scroll till I see another header, the end header, beginning header, and end header. Oh, see, here's my end header. See that? So I know when to stop. Then I'm going to press delete. Okay, so now I'm going to change that to, instead of 109, I'm going to change it to 109. 118, change it to 109. And then today's date. Okay, so now I'm going to go and, well, I probably lost the cut and paste, so I'm going to go back to, because whenever you do something, you might lose the copy and paste. Where is it? Not, open the wrong spreadsheet again. This one. Okay, so this is the ROM information that I need. I'll just accidentally paste it over here. Okay, so it's supposed to highlight 118 game. Last one's supposed to be the Z. Yeah, this one. All right, gonna copy that. I don't know how I managed to paste something there, like a game list there. All right, I'm gonna go into my Notepad++, the one I just deleted, and I'm going to paste the 118. So that's my new list. Then I'm gonna go to game INI. See, here's my game list that I created. Maybe I was showing you how I did it. So I could close that one because they're just for now I need to go find my game INI. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my hack, go up, and I'm going to go location. Now, you might say, well, how do you know which one? This is very important. When you do an add-on, once I give you an add-on, you need to open up your LAN INI, okay, and check to see which one is your last number. Now, I put in a number so I could see this easier. If you don't have a number, you just have to count from the top. Like this is first one, 1, 2. If you have a parenthesis like that, don't count that one. That's not 1. Okay, this is your first one, first entry. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is number 4. Start with a 0. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3. So you go all the way down. That's why I put a number beside it, so easier for me to see. Now you have to put a pound sign. Pound sign means it's a comment. Mean it will not read that line as an entry. It will read it. It will ignore it. Okay. So that's why you have to have a pound sign. All right. So my NeoCD is number 34, and the physical name is called NeoCD. So I need to look for NeoCD. So NeoCD. I got NES. There you go. NeoCD. Okay. In here, I want to open up the game INI. So I'm going to edit the game INI right here. And this one have 118. Start with a 0, 118. Now, why I like Notepad++, you could Control A, then hold the Shift key and click on the very last one. Then you can press delete. Okay, change that to 109. Now I need to go back to my game list. See, this is not saved yet. I need to save it once I finish. So I'm going to go to the game list. Okay, and then I'm going to go to game list, and then I'm going to copy everything from the top, from number 0 all the way down to 109. In my case, it would be 108 because we started with the 0. So 0, that's 109. Okay, put 109 game. Copy that. Okay, then I'm going back to the Notepad++, Control Tab. I'm here and paste, and I'm done. That's it. I'm done. My game set is done. My ROM path is information is done. Without the ROM path, it doesn't know where to go get your physical file. Okay, and this is the physical ID, and that ID have to match. Ooh, forgot to save it. That need to match with the game list. The ID here. This one and this one have to match. Otherwise, you will not find it. This one look for this file here. Okay, this is the menu. This menu say directory. I need to look for the game. Where's the game? The game is inside the folder called ROM info. Info say you're gonna use the emulator called NeoCD. In here, you're gonna go to this location and run this file. And that's how the game work. Now you're gonna say, what is CED? You have to create a CED, okay? So let's go look at CED. That should be already created when you get the retro download from me. So you're gonna go to the iDrive, and you're gonna go to the retro alt, not the ROM, but the retro. Okay, that's what make all this work with retro alt. Inside there's a bin folder. In the bin, you're gonna look for NeoCD, and inside the NeoCD, you're gonna right click and save. Now there's no extension on this. Okay, so when you save it, make sure there's no extension. You open up Notepad++. Yes. Okay. And you want to make sure it's pointing to FB Neo. Now you might say, well, what is FB Neo? FB Neo is the name without the underscore lipo retro. So that is the physical name of the course. So you go to the course and you're going to look for FB Neo. So you type FB FB, this one. You want to use the one February 17th, 2021, okay? The date is very important. If you use the wrong one, like I'm using, I try to test it, April 28 do not work, September 13 do not work, April 28 do not work, February 17 work. So this is the one. Now you want to put FB Neo, okay? Not the underscore, no underscore, just the beginning, just this part. So you're going to copy that and you're going to put it right here. Okay, so let's delete that. For example, you want to change it, you got to put it paste. Now, this is the name you called it NeoCD. This name have to match with the ID. If it do not match, it cannot find which core you're using, which emulator you're using. Okay, which core. All right. This one is telling you that this is the path of the library of the physical location. Okay, you are going to mount the path, web path, and the reason they did that is so they don't have to retype the name, so they just abbreviate it. So whatever you see this, it represents this. Okay, so I don't have to type in the whole path. So this one is representing this path. And then the core path is representing this plus this. It's just abbreviation. Okay, so you don't have to type the whole name. So that way I could just type the $, and then I just, type in a $sign here with a G. So the G is actually pointing to this whole path plus .cfg. Okay, so this is how they wrote this. Okay, and then they say, okay, I want you to launch this program called this. Okay, so that ID need to match with the emulator ID right here. Now, once you finish the Neo Geo CD, there's one called Neo Geo CD library. That one do not work, so don't use it. So, for example, Neo Geo CD .lib. You say, well, Johnny, there's a Neo Geo core. Why didn't you use this one? See, core, CORES. No, this one do not work, so don't use that one. Okay, just FYI. I already tried it. I tried a different version, it still don't work. This is the one you want. Okay, so now you're going to save this because I just changed it, save it, and that's it. Now you could reject the CD. You got your ROM info save, you got your game list save, and you got that LAN information that is already there because I added. Now, if it's a brand new one, you want to go and edit the ROM info. You want to make sure you go to the ASP folder, and you want to go to not ROM info, the language array, this one. So language array. So if you're using arcade level and you don't have all this list, okay, then you want to put your Neo Geo CD. The last one is 34. This is my full set. Okay, let's just say if you open another set, which I don't have it here, but we transfer everything out. I don't want to mess up one else space. Okay, so let's just say if you use the one from Telegram. Okay, so let's just look at the one with arcade. Okay, let's just say you went to the Telegram and you wanted to add it to the Telegram version, the Neo Geo CD. You want to open up the i9. Okay, now I already put in number on mine. So if you're using a Telegram, the next number you're going to use would be number 11. Okay, and here you're going to type in Neo Geos or NeoCD. That's the physical name. Whatever physical name you want to use, you type it here. Then you're going to put an equal sign and then the greater signs. Greater sign. Then you're going to put Neo Geo CD. Then you close it. And that's it. Well, you don't need to have a space. Okay, that's it. And then so you have to put your image, your animation, you have to name it 11. Okay? And then you just copy that folder into the location folder. All right. So right now you don't have Neo Geo, so you're gonna have to copy the folder into here. Then before you can make it work, you also have to go into I'll do a separate video how to do this, because this video is to show you how to use Excel, because I will do a video when I put all the different group added, because I want to make one for everything. Like, how do you add Neo Geo into your add-on? How do you add Turbo 16? How do you add PC Engine? So I'll create a separate video on that. I don't want to talk about that and then confuse you guys, because I haven't given you the link yet. So once I do, but that's how you do it. You created number 11, and you have to do some images to make it work. Okay, so I'll do that separate video. All right, that's pretty much it. That's how I created this. So once I save it, I just go ahead and reject the CD, and then I could test this out and make sure everything is not pointing to the flash drive. Now you could reject the flash drive, which is my iDrive, and then I could go and test it out. See if there's 109 game instead of 118. All right, hopefully this helped, and I'll talk to you later.